So 12 divided by 5. 5 can go into 12 2 times to give 10. And then minus that, and your remainder is 2, right? So the answer will be 2. That takes care of the 10. Then what you have left is 2 over 5. The sum just means you're going to add it together. 8 and 4 is 12, carrying 1. 7 and 2 is 9, plus the 1 is 10, so 0, carry 1. 8 and 2 is 10, plus the 1 is 11, 1, carry 1. 4 and 5 is 9, plus the 1 is equal to 10, 0, carry 1 there, so 1, 2, 3. 30,102. Number 3, the number 9,557 rounded up to the nearest 100, or rounded off to the nearest 100. Now any number that reaches 5 can be rounded upwards to the next 10. Similarly, 50 can be rounded up to the next 100. 500, anything 500 and over can be rounded up to the next 1,000. So the question here is rounding off to the nearest 100. So you're looking at something that's 50 or over as the last 2 digits. Here it says 57, so that can be rounded up instead of rounded down. If it said 49, then you would round downwards to 500. But here, since it's 57, you round upwards to the next 100 after 500. So up to the next 100. So Philip had 45 marbles. He gave 2/3 to his brother. How many marbles did he give his brother? So you are applying a fraction against the number. So you start off with 45 marbles and you are looking at a fraction of that. So times 2 over 3. So out of the possible 3 parts, so if you divided this 45 into 3 parts, 2 of those parts would be the number that we're after. 2 of the 3 parts is what we are choosing in this question. So 45, if we were to rewrite 45 into a fraction, 45 over 1, any number over 1 is that number in fraction form. Multiplied by 2 over 3, we just multiply the numerators. 45 times 2 is 90. So you multiply the 2 numbers on the top. On the bottom, 1 times 3. 1 times 3 is equal to 3. 90 divided by 3. So we simplify this on this side. 90 divided by 3 is 30, because 30, if you multiply it by 3, it gives you 90. So it's just working opposite. So you are to convert 5 over 100 into a decimal. 500ths, because this fraction is a number smaller than 1. Now, if you remember in the decimals, when you're learning the place values, this was the units column or the ones column, and then you have a decimal place, and to the right, the first column is the tenths, and the next column is the hundredths. So if this was 5/10, that 5 would go into this tenths column. Because it's 5/100, it will go into this hundredths column. So this is where the 5 will go. Right? So we will write that as 0.05. So we've converted it to a decimal. So how you can compare them is you've got to make them have a similar denominator. That's how you then can compare fractions. So if you look at these numbers, you can see that 8 and 4, there's a close relationship there. This 1/4 can be converted to a number over 8. Okay, let's do that. So this is 1/8, this number, but this 1/4, if we were to convert it to over 8, this number to this number, you must multiply by 2 in order to get from 4 to 8. So the old rule, you multiply by 2 on the top as well, and it's equivalent to 2/8. So this number here is 2/8 is the equivalent fraction. So you have 1/8, 2/8. Now you have 2/4. Okay. So I'll write it here. So this is 2/8. Now 2/4 would be double 1/4. Because if you put 2/4 and you convert it to something over 8, multiply by 2 to convert the 4 to the 8. So same thing on the top, multiply by 2 to convert the number on the top. So this number is 4/8. Okay? Now what do we do about this? Because now we have 3/3. Do we really have to go to the trouble of converting it to a number over 8? Well, you can if you want to. Any number over itself is equal to 1, right? So any number over itself is equal to 1. If you have 100/100, that's 1. 3/3, that's 1. 8/8 is also 1. That was a very quick way to convert it to one with a number with a denominator of 8. That's exactly the same. These are equivalent fractions here. 3/3 is the same as 8/8. Any number over itself is equal to 1. So you can see here which number has the biggest number on the top, is the biggest numerator, and it's this one. So I've put the equivalent fractions down here. But if you are choosing out of these 4, then you will choose, the answer is 3/3. Because the question says you are choosing out of these 4. This is just the way you've worked out which one has the higher value. Which one is the largest of the fractions. And now you know, so you know it's the 3/3. So that is the answer, 3/3. What number is 100 less than 4,591? 4,591. What number is 100 less than that? How do we find out? We get the number that's 100 less by subtracting 100. So minus 100. 1 minus 0, 1. 9 minus 0, 9. 5 minus 1, 4. 4 minus 0, So the answer is 4,491. Number 8, I recommend you do the first two numbers first, you add them, and then you subtract the 13. 9 minus 3 is 6, 3 minus 1 is 2. Finding the difference between two numbers just means you minus one number from the other. So 751 minus 248. Borrow 1 from this side, this becomes 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. And that's your answer. Question 10 is really looking at equivalent fractions. So if you're looking at fractions like that, and if you want to find the equivalent fraction on this side, just look at this number and this number. This number, how do you get it to here? Multiplied by 2. That is multiplied by 2. So you've got to do the same thing on this side, multiplied by 2. What you do to the numerator, you do to the denominator. 6 times 2 is 12. So the missing number is 12. Question 11 asks you the sum of the first three prime numbers. Sum means you will just have to add the first three prime numbers. But what are the first three prime numbers? Remember a prime number is two things. It has two qualities. One, it has to be greater than 1. That's the first one. So when we look at this series of numbers, I just put series of numbers here, then we can eliminate and see which ones are the first three prime numbers. So if it's greater than 1, then these two are automatically out because they're not greater than 1. Then the second thing is it must be able to only have factors of itself and 1. So, I mean, I didn't say that so well. The only factors it can have are 1 and itself. So, take 2 for example. 2 times 1. Those are the two factors. Can you get 2 from multiplying any other two numbers? No. No other two numbers you can multiply to get 2. So that's the first one. What about the next number, 3? 3 times 1, yes, that you can get 3 that way. Can you get 3 any other way? 2 times something or no. It's only 3 times 1. So that is also a prime number. What about 4? 4 times 1, yes. But 4, you can also get 4 through 2 times 2. So that's not a prime number. What about 5? 5 times 1? Yes. Can you get 5 any other way? Does 5 appear any other place in the times table apart from right at the top of the 5 times table? No, you can't. So 5 is a prime number. So you've got the first three ones there. Right? So 2 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. 10. All right. Number 12 asks which of these 4 sets here shows the series of number in ascending order. To ascend is to go up. Descend is go down. Ascend is go up. So the numbers must be going up. Start small, get bigger. This one, for 199, for 299, for 399, for 499, it's going up all the way. For 299, for 399, for 499, for 199, goes down right at the end. So that's not it. For 399, for 499, it's going up. Then for 299 and down again for 199. And this one, for 499, for 399, for 299, for 199. This one is actually in descending order. It goes down all the way. So the first one is the only one of this set that keeps increasing the number. So A is the answer. This one is about place value. So the 3 is units or ones. Next one up is tens column. Then 5 is in the hundreds column. And the 4 is in the thousands column. So if 6 is underlined, then it's in the tens column. So the place value is tens. Question 14 tells us we have 15 apples and they want us to divide it equally amongst 5 children. So the answer really is just 15 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5. In other words, what number times 5 is equal to 15? 3 5s are 15, right? Each child will get 3 apples. Number 15 asks us, what is the number 50 less than 200? Starting at 200, 50 less. What's that new number? It's just 200 minus 50. 0 minus 0 is 0. Here you borrow 1 from there, becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. And 1 there. 150. Number 16 tells us to round it to the nearest 100. Said in one of the earlier questions, as long as there's a 5, so as long as there's a 50, you can round it up to the nearest 100 upwards, right? Rounding it up. This is 52, so we're clear. Round it up. Right now it's 452. The next 100 up is 500. And that's the answer. Number 16 tells us to round to the nearest 100. So we always look at this number. If it's 100, we see if it's 50 or more. This is more than 50. Therefore, we round up. So this is 400 currently. It becomes the next 100 up, 500. And that's the answer. Question 17 tells us that a teacher bought 60 lollies for their 12 students and they were going to distribute it equally. So we already know that it's going to be 60 lollies divided by 12. But the question says, which number sentence best describes what will happen? So you can, exactly how you would think it, you've got 60 lollies, right? Divided by 12 is equal to 5. Number sentence is an equation, so we've just written an equation. Number 18 asks us to find the next number in the sequence. So we've got to find the pattern. What is the pattern? Is it multiply by something? Is it add something? Is it subtract something? Okay, let's just check multiplying. 1 multiplied by what equals 3? Multiply by 3. And then 3 to 6, that's multiplied by 2. So that's not really consistent. 6 to 10, no, that's not even multiplied by 1 or 2 or 3. So it's not multiplied by. It's not divide because the numbers are getting bigger. Let's try plus. Between 1 and 3, what is it? Plus 2. Between 3 and 6, it's plus 3, right? What about between 6 and 10? That's adding 4. So you can see the pattern now. It's plus 2, plus 3, plus 4. Then between 10 and 15, plus 5, right? So how will we find the next number? Plus 6. 15 plus 6 is equal to 21. 15 plus 6, 21. And that's the answer. That's the next number in the sequence. When you're adding two fractions, you have to make sure the denominators are the same. That way you can easily add them, because you can't add fractions with different denominators. So 5, so you've got to convert the 2 over 5 or the 3 over 10 into an equivalent fraction of the other. It's probably easier to do the 2 over 5 to convert it to 10, because convert it to a fraction of the denominator of 10, because 5 times 2 is 10, right? So 5, to get the equivalent fraction, if we're going to have 10 on the bottom, it's multiplied by 2. You have to do the same thing with the numerator, the number on top. 2 times 2 is 4. So now we have 4 over 10. This number is equivalent fraction is 4 over 10. Right? So 4 over 10, we've converted that to a fraction with the denominator of 10. Plus we add this one here, 3 over 10. Right? And the number is, let me rub this out. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 over 10. And that's your answer. 7 over 10. If you've watched the videos that I've done on very simple algebra, solving for one variable, you'll know how to do this. So whatever you do on this side of the equal sign, you must also do on this side of the equal sign. And the first thing we do is we try to isolate the y, put it alone on one side, get rid of the 12. So do the same thing on both sides, but the shortcut that I've shown in the videos is this 12 is right now, it's a negative 12. We want to take it to the other side of the equal sign. It will change sign. On this side, it's minus 12. On the other side, it will become positive 12 or plus 12. Okay, so we do that. Y is equal to 30 plus 12. You see, I have eliminated the 12. So I've taken it from one side to the other side. Eliminated it by using the opposite, right? Opposite sign. Now I simplify. y is equal to 30 plus 30 plus 12 is 42. And you've solved it. Y is equal to 42. Don't forget to test your answer. So once you solve for any variable, now you go back to your starting equation, and where the y is, you put this new value in. So it was y minus 12 equals 30. So now we'll put 42 where the y was, minus 12 equals 30. Is that correct? 42 minus 12 equals to 30, and 30 is on this side. It's true, because that works out. That solution works out.
Thank you for watching.